So as you may know, Wuthering Waves has been doing very good recently. I mean, it's been well over a month since release, and the game's just been doing great. I mean, we've got so many players. I have talked about in the past of the revenue doing amazingly, going up to almost $140 million made across all platforms, which is just insane. And there's just so much more coming to the game too. But it seems like this tweet by Morsu95 actually proves that there's more good things to come in the future. Now, before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and also go over to Gamer Subs, where they've actually got a ton of new cubs, tubs, and even more that I think you'd enjoy. I mean, they've just dropped their new group stuff, so if you follow the group chat guys, then I definitely think you'd like it, and even if you don't, I mean, it looks really nice, so I'd definitely go check it out, and maybe even give one an order using my code Kaza. But yeah, the link's in the description below, and let's get back into the video. So as I said, there was a tweet by Morsu95. Now, I don't think they're any kind of like credible person. I think they're just a Japanese Wuthering Waves enjoyer who posts a lot of stuff about news. I mean, they repost a lot of different things, and pretty much on their account, they posted this tweet saying, Kuro Games, following the release of Nari Tide, which is Wuthering Waves, the development team, including Punishing Grey Raven, has decided to significantly increase staffing. Since last week, it appears that large-scale recruitment has begun in over 150 departments, including Japanese support and translation. This move is reminiscent of miHoYo after the huge success of Genshin Impact. So again, this is absolutely amazing. There's a ton of stuff just to unpick in this one paragraph. Now first, he did drop a link to the actual recruitment page. This is the recruitment page for all stuff Wuthering Waves, all stuff Punishing Grey Raven. As you can see, they've got the art for Punishing Grey Raven up here. But again, this is like a recruitment page for Kuro Games, and you can see all of these jobs that they've got going. I'm pretty sure this is a Chinese website, so this is only if you are like in China. So again, if you are Chinese and looking for a job to do with Kuro Games, maybe one of these are for you. I mean, you could definitely sign up to one of these, and they've got a ton of positions. I mean, they've got stuff like fine arts, they've got rigging, they've got storyboard artists, 3D scenes. They've got so much, and also it depends on like what you want to work on. You can see here it says Ming Chao motion designer. That means you'll be working for Wuthering Waves. You could also work for other stuff like Honkai Impact 3rd, which is a little bit weird. I don't know why that's there, but again, they've got some stuff where you can work on that, I guess. And yeah, you can pretty much work on any of the games that Kuro Games have worked on. So again, this is pretty amazing because it seems like, you know, they've actually got enough money to hire a lot of these people. And again, there's just so many jobs going, whether it's in planning, art, audio, technology, operation, marketing. There's so much to do, and one of the main points that I wanted to highlight is that they included more Japanese support and translation, which is amazing, which means that Kuro Games is actively trying to fix their massive mistranslation issue at the moment. If you don't know, there is a big mistranslation issue going on at Kuro Games, where they do occasionally get a lot of the stuff wrong. I mean, we had the situation with the Japanese sword where they got the description of it wrong, which pretty much led to a ton of people like pulling on it and being misled into pulling on it because they thought it was better for another character whenever it wasn't. And Kuro Games did sort this out and offer like refunds and compensation in rewards, and they definitely got more back than what they spent on the weapon, which is great. But again, we've seen this a couple times as well in English and in other languages where mistranslation has been an issue, especially in the version 1.1 update. We saw a big mistranslation issue of like the ecosystem because they said they were going to increase all the drops and stuff, but it turns out that was only for events, which they failed to get across in the English article, but it was made very clear in the Chinese article. So again, it is a big problem in Wuthering Waves, but it seems like they're trying to fix it by recruiting more people that can, you know, do this job, and hopefully they are better than the current people that are doing it, because yeah, it's not going very good for them at the moment. But there's even more that needs to be unpicked, as they also said this includes Punishing Grey Raven. As I said, there was a lot of jobs in here that included Punishing Grey Raven, which is great, and it means that Kuro Games is still trying to push their other games other than Wuthering Waves, because you'd expect a game doing this well, maybe a company would just kind of like throw Punishing Grey Raven to the side because it's like, well, you know, it's not making as much money as Wuthering Waves, so we might as well just focus on Wuthering Waves. But no, it seems like Kuro Games still want to work on Punishing Grey Raven, and that's just great, because I think this is their kind of like, you know, passion project, if you can kind of call it that. Kind of similar to miHoYo and Honkai Impact 3rd, because Honkai Impact 3rd is definitely Hoyoverse's favorite game and just the overall Honkai series over Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact was more of like a money-making game, and even though it does really good and probably better than the other games, I think Hoyoverse still do have a soft spot for Honkai and the Honkai story and everything like that, so they do want it to improve, and that's why they released part 2 for Honkai Impact 3rd. So again, that's just great, and yeah, they said it's going to be happening over 150 departments. Now, there is one issue that I, you know, kind of thought of, was Kuro Games have had a history of laying off a lot of employees. If you don't remember, they laid off a ton of, I think it was students, it was mainly students at least, least, before Wuthering Waves released because they couldn't afford it. I mean, Kuro Games was in a very, very tight spot whenever it came to Wuthering Waves because they spent a lot of money on it and they had to let a lot of these people go just like out of the blue. And again, it kind of left a bit of a sour taste for them because a lot of the students were very angry at being suddenly fired and stuff like that. So again, I hope that Kuro Games have strategically like picked out a certain amount of people that they want to employ to make sure that they don't have to, you know, lay off any people, especially in the near future. Because again, that'd be really bad if they just hire a ton of people and then have to fire them all because they can't afford it anymore. But again, I think they've got this very under control, and it's just great to see that they're expanding. As I said, this move is reminiscent of MiHoYo after the success of Genshin Impact, which means that, you know, this game could be as big as Genshin Impact in the future. And we've seen how much Genshin Impact has grown since its initial release. And, you know, we could see the same with Kuro Games, especially with a lot of these people, you know, being recruited to Kuro Games and working on Kuro Games. Because the more people you add, the more ideas you add, and the better the game gets. And I'm just honestly really excited to see what Wuthering Waves can do with this. Because like I mentioned, there is a ton of different departments, including like stuff like audio. It takes one person to join the audio team and change things around and make the music like 10 times better than it already is. Or the same with the art. They can make the character design 10 times better than it already is. Or operation, they can make the gameplay 10 times better than it already is. It's going to be super exciting to see what these new people can bring to the game. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching it with a close eye. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be watching it as well, seeing how well Wuthering Waves is improving in the future. And yeah, we've got version 1.1 coming up soon, so hopefully we can see how much they've coped with that, and maybe by 1.2, maybe 1.3, we'll see a lot of these new employees make their mark on this game. And again, it's just super exciting to see because Wuthering Waves has been doing amazingly recently, and it's also great to see that Kuro Games now has the money to actually employ a lot of these people and start offering jobs to people. And hopefully this comes over to the creator sphere as well, because as you know, a lot of gacha games and stuff do like to sponsor creators and, you know, just give them money for doing content on their game. I mean, this is a big thing with Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and a lot of other games. But Kuro Games have been a little bit slower on it. I mean, they have sponsored some people, but obviously with that lack of money, they haven't been able to sponsor as many people as maybe they would have liked. So maybe with this newfound money that they've got, with all of the sales they've been getting, they can actually use this to sponsor some of us, maybe even me, hopefully in the future. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Yeah, just let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you think it's a good idea that they're employing a ton more people? Or do you think it's a bad idea and that, you know, they don't really need them? For me personally, I think it's a really good thing, so I can't wait to see what happens. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And as I said, go over to Gamer Subs and use my code Kaza in the link below. And also, if you want to catch me live, then I will be live on Twitch. The link will also be below. I'm going to start streaming soon, maybe in like a week's time, whenever I have a little bit more time. And then we're going to be back to regular streaming like I used to. So again, go over there, follow, and you will get a notification whenever I stream. And yeah, that's about all I got. That's all. See ya.